So, you've probably seen the big vision for AR glasses, right? The stuff Apple and Meta are showing off. Giant TVs floating in your living room, your friends popping up as 3D avatars. It's all about adding cool stuff to the world. But here's the thing. What if that's completely missing the point? What if the real revolution isn't about what we add to reality, but what we can take away from it?
Yeah, exactly. So the vision we're sold is all about plus, just piling more digital stuff onto our world. But the real power, the truly disruptive part, is all about minus and edit. We're talking about the power to literally erase things you don't want to see, or even completely rescan your entire reality to match whatever vibe you're feeling. It's a huge shift in thinking.
All right, so here's the game plan for how we're going to unpack this. First, we'll go beyond just adding stuff to reality. Then, we'll get into the specifics of editing what you see. After that, we'll talk about what this means for designers, the tech that makes it all happen, and of course, the huge platform war that's brewing.
So the secret sauce here, it's all AI. And look, we're not just talking about some simple heads-up display showing you the weather. No. This is about an AI that can recognize objects in real time. I mean, it can identify a brand logo, a chair, anything, and then on the fly generate new pixels to erase it, replace it, or change it, all before that image even hits your retina. It's wild.
Okay, so this idea of editing reality, what does that even mean in the real world? Well, let's break it down into 3 really cool concepts that could pretty much change everything.
First up is something called diminished reality. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Forget augmenting reality. This is about subtracting from it. You know that magic eraser tool on your phone? The one that can just poof, get rid of someone in the background of your photo? Now imagine that happening live, as a filter for your eyes. The AI sees what you don't want to see and just makes it disappear.
And this is maybe the best way to think about it. It's a fantastic analogy. These AR glasses could become the visual version of noise-canceling headphones. Right? With headphones, you're not adding sound, you're creating quiet. With these glasses, you're not adding clutter, you're creating visual calm.
So think about it. What if you could just erase all those chaotic ads on the subway? You look at a cluttered wall and instead you just see a clean, peaceful surface. Instant mental relief. Or, hey, say you're trying to eat healthier. What if your glasses could just automatically blur out all the junk food on a menu? Pretty cool way to stick to your goals, right?
And let's get a little wild with it. What if you could, say, turn your stressful boss's face into a cartoon character during a meeting? The point is, you get to be the editor of your own reality. You're in control.
Okay, so that's subtracting. Now, for the second big idea, which builds on this, it's basically the end of apps as we know them. Think about it. Right now, to do anything, you have to pull out your phone, unlock it, hunt for the right app, open it. With these glasses, you just look. All that friction, gone.
And what that creates is this concept of the world as an interface. So instead of deleting things, now you're editing them with a layer of information. App icons, they're totally gone because the coffee machine itself becomes the button. You just look at it and boom, the instructions appear right on top of it. Or you glance at your plant and it literally tells you if it's thirsty. The world is your screen.
All right, so this brings us to the third point. And honestly, this one is maybe the most mind-bending. If everyone is editing their own reality, well, the whole idea of a single shared objective reality starts to just fall apart. Just imagine a place like Seoul's Gangnam Station. Right now, if we're both standing there, we see the same stuff. The same buildings, same billboards, but in this future, you and I could be standing right next to each other seeing completely different worlds. You might see a buzzing, neon cyberpunk city. Me, I might be seeing a peaceful, minimalist Zen garden. The AI is literally reskinning the world, live, just for you.
So if you can literally edit what a person sees, what does that mean for the designers creating these experiences? Suddenly, they have this almost godlike power, right? And with that kind of power comes a whole new level of responsibility.
And this means designers need a whole new skill set. 3 big ones stand out. First, they need to be attention architects, basically a bouncer for your eyeballs, keeping all the visual spam out. Then, there's social friction design. This is so important. How do you make sure these things aren't just super creepy? Maybe a little light that tells people when you're recording. And finally, blending ratio control. Think of it like a dimmer switch for reality.
Yeah, that blending ratio is all about controlling how much the AI takes over. Like if you're driving, you probably want 90% real world and just 10% virtual stuff for directions. But if you're gaming in your living room, you might crank that up to 90% virtual. Getting that mix right for every situation is going to be a huge challenge for designers.
Okay, I know this all sounds like sci-fi, but the tech is moving super fast. So let's talk for a second about what's actually making it possible for AI to, log into the real world.
It's been a quick evolution. In the past, AI was stuck on a server somewhere. You had to type things in. Now, with cameras, AI has vision. It can see what you see and understand what's happening. But the real game changer, the next big leap, is powerful AI that lives right on the device. Your second brain is literally on your face, processing everything instantly, with no lag, and, crucially, without sending a live feed of your life to the cloud. That's what makes it feel seamless and private.
Of course, with a shift this huge, you know that tech giants are going to war over it. And this isn't just about selling a new gadget. This is the race to own the next big thing, the platform that's going to replace the smartphone.
And what's fascinating is that everyone's making a different bet. You've got Apple coming in from the top down with a super powerful, expensive device that's meant to replace your computer. Then you have Meta going completely bottom up. Their goal is to get cheap, light AI glasses on as many faces as possible, basically embedding themselves in our daily lives. And then there's the Samsung, Google, and Qualcomm alliance trying to build out the whole Android ecosystem for this new world. It's the classic platform battle, but this time the prize is, well, everything.
So there's one thing to take away from all of this, it's this. This is so much bigger than just a new screen. The real AI revolution, the one we've been talking about for years, truly begins when that intelligence steps out from behind our monitors and merges directly with our perception of reality.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. It's a whole new paradigm. We're not just designing screens anymore. We're designing gaze and perception. Just think about that. The job is now to design the very way people see the world.
Which leaves us with one last pretty heavy question. And it's not just for designers, it's for all of us. When we have the power to actually edit reality itself, what kind of glasses are we going to put on people?